In this video, we're looking at one very unique car, John Dodd's creation, the Beast. The Beast was recently sold, and we'll tell you how much the lucky new owner paid to own this piece of automotive history, so be sure to watch till the end. John Dodd was an automatic transmission specialist with a soft spot for unusual cars. He became well known in automotive circles in the 1970s when he began tinkering with some bizarre creations in his backyard shed. In 1966, John Dodd stumbled upon fellow engineer Paul Jameson testing a car at Biggin Hill, just outside London. Jameson was building his first car from a 27-liter Rolls-Royce Meteor engine sourced from a Centurion tank, which he had purchased for £20. When the two men met, the Jameson Mk1 was just a rolling chassis, with Jameson still searching for a suitable clutch and gearbox for his Frankenstein. Dodd agreed to supply a modified gearbox, but soon after, Jameson asked if he would like to purchase the chassis. Dodd agreed, Jameson delivered it to his home in Surrey, and the Beast was born. Dodd was a talented engineer, but he knew he would need help turning the chassis into a real car. He enlisted Fiberglass Repairs, now FGR Motorsports, to build the body. FGR specialized in dragsters, so the outcome of the collaboration was interesting. Richard Hesseltine described it as a body shell akin to a steroidal Ford Capri, which is pretty spot on. Dodd added a Jensen FF windscreen, seats from a Lotus Elan Plus 2, and a cut-down grille and Spirit of Ecstasy mascot from a Rolls-Royce Corniche. He figured the Meteor engine made the car a Rolls-Royce and styled it as such. They agreed when he registered the car with the London County Council, listing it as a Rolls-Royce with a 27,000cc engine. Sadly, the original Beast was damaged by a fire on the way home from a car show in Sweden. To Dodd's surprise, thanks to its registration as a Rolls-Royce, his insurance company paid out £17,000, the equivalent of £121,000 today, for the car, plus an extra £1,500 to get it home to the UK. The chassis survived and was returned to Fiberglass Repairs for a new body. FGR gave the Beast a new shooting brake style body with 4 rear lights from a MK 1.5 Capri, Jaguar vented discs on the front end, and a GM Turbo 400 3-speed automatic transmission. Dodd asked Jameson to help him source another 27-liter engine, and Jameson came through with a Merlin 27,000cc V12 used in a Bolton Paul Balliol trainer aircraft. Dodd had already butted heads with Rolls-Royce when the company's lawyers caught wind of a strange Rolls registered with the London City Council. The owner of FGR warned him against leaning too hard into the brand this time around. But Dodd remained determined, adding a grille from a Silver Shadow, a feisty move. Dodd's new and improved Beast caught attention everywhere, developing a cult-like following on the custom car circuit. Even without its superchargers, the Beast was included in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most powerful car on the road. The Beast wasn't beautiful or practical, but there was something about it that people just loved, probably its estimated 700 horsepower at 2,500 RPM. Or it could be that this unbelievable vehicle was licensed for street use. Dodd drove it regularly. Or perhaps it was the fact that all of this was draped in the emblems of one of the most exclusive luxury car makers around. Speaking of Rolls-Royce, they were less than thrilled that Dodd dragged them into his second iteration of the Beast. Dodd loved calling the company and pretending to be a buyer interested in purchasing a car that had just flown past him on the road, the Beast. Rolls-Royce was not amused and issued a high court order in which the company accused Dodd of trademark infringement. The lawsuit drew a lot of media attention, and Dodd seemed to revel in the limelight. He drove the Beast to court every day, parking opposite the Rolls-Royce representative's Silver Spirit. Dodd told Classic Driver, "On the final morning of the trial, my lawyer sacked himself, saying I was ridiculing the highest court in the land. His last piece of advice was not to take the car that day, otherwise it'd be confiscated and I'd never get it back." Dodd followed his lawyer's advice. In classic Dodd style, he contacted a friend with stables in Hyde Park and asked for a favor. On the final morning of his trial, Dodd, his wife, and his children all arrived at the court on horseback. Dressed in a sweater with the famous Rolls-Royce emblem across its front, Dodd lost his case. No one was surprised by the outcome, but the consequences for Dodd were far more severe than he imagined. Thanks to his lively interjections throughout the trial, the thoroughly annoyed judge relieved Dodd of his house and many possessions, including a twin-engined airplane. Miraculously, he managed to hold on to the beast. Dodd was ordered to pay £5,000 in fines for the copyright infringement, an amount that was doubled when Dodd ignored the order and showed up 2 days later at a car show with the RR grill still in place. Dodd lost an appeal and was sentenced to 6 months in prison for refusing to pay. Instead of turning himself in, Dodd and his family fled to Spain, where the beast joined them shortly after. His famous auto was given a new grille with the initials JD, but retained its original KPD 67 carat plates. From his new home in Malaga, Dodd ran a thriving automatic transmission repair business and gave frequent tours of the beast to locals and foreigners alike. Dodd and the Beast retained their celebrity status, featuring in car magazines and TV shows like Top Gear for decades. He racked up a list of stories that have since grown into myths. They were so epic, no one is quite sure where the truth ends, like allegedly outrunning a police helicopter and a Range Rover, escaping persecution because the officers couldn't identify him. When asked why he made the Beast, Dodd told Nationwide, "The truth is, I wanted something different. The idea was to have a car that could beat anything on Earth and at the same time run on the cheapest petrol you could buy, cruise at 200 miles per hour and beat anything else, make it all British." The legend passed away at the age of 90 in December of 2022. The car world mourned the news of Dodd's passing, but when it was revealed that the Beast was going up for sale, more than a few ears perked up in interest. The auction listing on Car and Classic described the Beast as a wheeled, ludicrous, unapologetic celebration of the life and brilliant eccentricity of not only John Dodd himself, but also of the British spirit of ingenuity and adventure. The Beast's interior contains 2 bucket seats, a giant console, and a bank of red rocker switches that initiate the engine's starting sequence. A custom JD, the signature center, completes the wood-rimmed steering wheel. The Beast's fiberglass body is still in great shape and sits on staggered centerline wheels. Of course, the star of the show is the Merlin engine, just as loud and powerful as you would imagine. During its auction, the Beast received 60 bids from serious buyers. The winning bid was £72,500, and the new owner has yet to reveal themselves. We hope the Beast went to someone just as brazen and eccentric as John Dodd. Is the Beast a classic car you'd like to add to your garage? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on Get Around How.